Hey, Bible Geeks, got a new Bible. This is the Preaching Bible. This is a brown premium calfskin, and it's by Thomas Nelson, and it was supplied for review, so do know that it came from them, and I'll do a fair and honest review of the Bible for you guys. New King James Version in a verse-by-verse format for you preachers, and for anybody who just loves to have a verse-by-verse Bible, which is kind of cool. Getting kind of hard to find a verse-by-verse, so it's kind of nice to see a New King James that is verse-by-verse like this, and it's in a really nice font, guys, so we'll see that. It was a project that they did, and they asked 200 teachers and preachers what they'd like to see in a preaching Bible, stuff like that. So if it's missing things that you like, it's because out of those 200 people, yours wasn't so popular, I guess, your opinion. But it has some pretty good stuff, guys. There might be a few things in here that you would wish for, but that's just the way it works. You can see it has 72,000 references and 3 satin ribbons, 1-sided satin ribbons, premium high contrast paper, 11.5 font, which is really nice, extra flexible calfskin binding, durable edge line construction, and verse by verse classic 2-color typeset, which is really cool. I'm really starting to like the 2-color thing. It's kind of changing my view of other Bibles a bit. It's weird. Thanks, and Allison, you're kind of ruining some of my favorite Bibles out there, but hey, it's cool to see some advancements in text and things like that, and some people don't like it, some people do. The Bible, I believe, is around $79. I'm not positive on the price. I've been looking at so many Bibles lately. What I'll do is I'll put the price down below the video, guys, and so if I'm wrong on that, it'll be down below. So anyways, so I'll jump into this. Now, if you're familiar with the Cordovan calfskin, which was on the Crossway Bibles about 5 years ago, I think, roughly, they had a calfskin that was iron calfskin called Cordovan, and it feels like that. When you take this Bible out of the box, it kind of has like a spongy feeling to it, and that's how the Cordovan was. Now, if they would have leather lined this Bible, it would have been amazing because of that cushion that this kind of leather has. It has this really like plush feel to it, and you pastors, you know how it is when you're in a church and you're going to go preach and you start getting hot, you start sweating, the heat gets up. This is that kind of leather where when the room temperature goes up and your hands get kind of clammy, get warm and stuff, and that heat goes up in the room, it gets more grippy. So you'll start to get more of a grip of the Bible, and it actually gets like a warm feeling to it that really feels nice when the room temperature changes. And I think you'll find that when you're preaching, and you'll have a better grip of your Bible. When I first felt it right out of the box, it was spongy, it felt really nice, but it was kind of slick, and I was like, man, that's going to be easy to drop. But it's not true. It actually is not once you get out there and start preaching. So as you guys will see, it has no ribbing on the spine, which I personally am liking with these new designs. If they start to make them with ribs, great, but I would love to see them kind of do both. It would be really neat if they decided to do ribs, but I would like to see indentations, like I said with the last NKJV side column or single column reference Bible that I did. The NIV had indentations through the Zondervan, and then the Nelson just prints them on here. I think that they should take just a little bit of time to tool those in, or press the gold in, because I think that this might rub off over time. It doesn't feel like it's going to, in a sense. Sometimes you can get a cheap Bible and you can go like that and it starts coming off instantly. This doesn't feel like it's going to do that, but I am concerned that over time that might wear off. It's pretty thin, so just bring that up to you guys. But it does look nice. I like that it does this curling. I don't know if you guys, let me see the light over here. See how it does that kind of wrinkling at the top there? I love that because this is a nice piece of leather. It's very thick and pliable, so you do get these nice little neat wrinkles that you'll get as the Bible gets older. So I'll sit here and show you guys. See how that leather looks? It just kind of curls up. You bend it this way and all that grain goes away because of that iron calfskin. But you go like that and you get the wrinkles from that thicker leather. You get nice stitching all the way around. But the thing that they did with this Bible, they put a I think it's like a bonded leather, and we'll see that. You get 3 ribbons, the blue, the brown, and the red. This is common with the Nelsons now. They kind of do a 3-color combo with a single-sided satin ribbon. So I'm used to seeing it now, and you guys will start to get used to that. And these Bibles have been reviewed, and this is the first one for me, this Preacher Bible in this style with this liner. Now this I've seen in other Bibles. I have some older, like an Open Bible, and a Thompson chain, where they used to use like a genuine leather for the liner. What this does, it's kind of a hybrid Bible. It feels like a paste down Bible, but it's not totally. So it's very flexible, as you guys can see. You can roll the cover, but the problem is it does these indentations. You see here? Let me show you. So you're going to get little indents, and if this ends up folding over, like say you throw your Bible into a bag, or you set it down somewhere, and you know how sometimes it'll get folded over, and then you go and you set something on top of it, and then boom, this is going to be that kind of cover that's going to get a crease when that happens. It'll be a wrinkly looking crease, and it will come out in the sense that it'll go flat again, but you're going to get these little marks, and I'll show you right here. You guys can see where my hand, I got it in the sunlight here, where I've been using this Bible. And what I've done with this, since, I'm not preaching, I'm not up there preaching in front of people, I went around the house for a while with this when I'm reading out of it, and I just started walking with it and reading with it, and doing what a preacher does. So when you open up a Bible as a preacher and you're reading out of it, sometimes you'll have both hands on the Bible and then you'll let go. Okay, and then you'll hang the Bible like this and see how your thumb goes in on that, and a lot of stress is being put on the Bible. And you go to itch your nose, point at Sister so-and-so and say, "You, get up here," those kind of things. That happens when you're preaching, and that puts a lot of stress on the Bible. So if this is a Bible that you're going to put a lot of stress on, and that's going on, you're pushing on that, that's going to start getting kind of dinged up where that it just doesn't want to do that smooth flow of a leather liner. It is put in really nice, and I think once you get it worked in, and I think that this will be great. It'll just know that you're going to get those little wavy kind of wrinkles and weird stuff with it. The liner is really nice, but this is one of those Bibles where they glued the whole page again. I am seeing this with other publishers. I just reviewed a Lockman Bible that was like that, and that one's been given away already, but it had the same thick paper, and I'm not able to show you guys, so you'll have to refer back to that one. On that one, there was bubbles that happened where the glue was a little heavier in spots and not in some. But when you glue this paper like this, now I assume when I first got it out, I was thinking that it's going to be, to prevent the floppiness thing, but it doesn't. This Bible is super floppy, guys. So it doesn't give it enough firmness for me to think that that's what that was for. If it was, just add another piece of cardstock, maybe 2 or 3, that some other companies do, publishers do. When you glue this sheet here, some people might think that it's okay, but for me, I'm really concerned about that, because what it does here, as you see, it's lifting, and when that pastor, holds onto a Bible, or anybody, when you're putting all that pressure on there, when you're carrying your Bible around, or you might drop it and catch it, and just turning the pages. See how it indents right there? That's common, but when it's just a thinner sheet, it flexes out. This doesn't really allow that to happen, and you get really deep creases. Plus, you get these glue marks that are shining through. You can see where all of the brush strokes were from when they put the glue in there, and it's kind of not showing up good on camera. I'm trying to get it for you guys. Yeah, you can see kind of streaks. It's way more in regular, if you were here in person. It's hard to show on camera, but you can see where they brush stroke the glue, but it makes this page too heavy, in my opinion. And I think it's livable, but it could end up doing the wavy thing like it's doing here. It starts to wave a little bit because you take all of this liquid glue and glue that down. It's going to affect the paper. And then in 20 years, this whole sheet of paper here is going to be yellow. All that glue is going to process over time and age, and it will start to separate, and then this page will turn completely dark yellow, and it'll look really nasty in the future. So I think that they should look at the design and say, hey, let's stop doing that. Let's just glue it like we normally do with a paste-down Bible. But, that's just me. I'm really big on Bible design. I want your Bibles to last a long time, and if this is going to be a preaching Bible that somebody's family member has been preaching for many years, you want that Bible to last and look good for a long, long time. So Now I'm going to get into the Bible. It takes me forever, guys, but I'm really big on design, so if that's something that bugs you, just fast forward past that part and get to the part where you guys want to see the inside. You guys have control. You don't have to listen to me ramble, but these videos sometimes get long. As you can see, here is the copyright pages. Go down, very dark font, and printed in China. You get the table of contents. It's a very simple Bible. You're not going to get a bunch of stuff with it. It's a very simple preaching Bible. You get the preface to the New King James, you get into the Old Testament, and boom, you're not getting a bunch of noise in your text. This is a very, very dark font. Now, it is not as dark as like a turquoise, like Cambridge, but it doesn't need to be. It is black, and it's nice, and it's done in a very crisp font. So you can see here as I zoom in, I will get some other Bibles and show you this print. This is where this Bible sings. It sings loudly. It is a very readable text. If you're somebody who's wanting to preach and you don't want any glare from the lamplight, you're not going to get any glare. You're going to be able to find your verses very easily. You can see as you go down, every verse stands out because of the color. You get your references down at the bottom. So this is a 2K Denmark print, and we're used to seeing that with your, Skylers and stuff like that. With the new fonts putting down here at the bottom with the reference system, it kind of has that same kind of font style as a Skylar would have. So I'm getting kind of used to that, but it is new for me to see color like this in a Bible. It's very pretty. I like the layout. I like the way it looks. So we'll come up high here. Show you guys the layout of the Bible. The words do not go down in the gutter, which is nice. They give it plenty of gutter space. So you got this freedom of reading, and look how it stands out, guys. It's very nice. It's a very good Bible. It does get a little bit ghosty in the poetry sections, and the paper is supposed to be 39 GSM, as far as I know. Kind of a weird number. I heard 39 in Randy Brown's video where he actually sat at the table with them when they were designing these, and I think they said it was 39 GSM. I'm not sure if that's 39, but it feels pretty thick. It is a thick paper, so it might get creases kind of if you fold it over a little bit, but other than that, it's really nice. You don't get a very wide margin at all, if hardly at all. So if you're somebody who likes to write in the margin, this might be one that bugs you because they don't give you much room. Only in the poetry books do you start to see a little bit of room in there. And as laying flat, it does lay pretty flat. I want my spine to go in. I haven't completely trained it yet to do that because I wanted to show you guys what it looks like before I go and start doing the things that I do to it, and I'll show it down the line as the Bible ages. I'll do other videos of this. I love the darkness of the blue. It's really pretty. It's like a turquoise blue, and it's just really nice looking. I like the way it looks. Stands out really well. I'm going to open up here. And here is a page where you get a lot of the lineage and like here in Nehemiah, however you guys want to pronounce it. As they're talking about people here that they took, you have all of these people, and you can see how they spaced it out. Nice and neat, very clean, very easy to find. The numbers are off to the side, they're not in the text. And you'll see with other Bibles how much better it is to read out of this one when you're trying to find those verses and stuff. This thing really cracks down on that and makes it very easy. Look at the poetry books. Very nice, guys. From up here, come in and look close. Now, it does get a little bit ghosty. There are some spots where it kind of messes with your eyes. Sorry about that, focus. It'll mess with your eyes a little bit, but not very often. And it's on a high contrast paper. I walked around the house under different lights to see what it looks like under the window light, under the different lights in my kitchen, things like that. Man, it really stands out when you're under good lighting. It just jumps out at you. So if you have good lighting in your church, you're going to love this Bible. It operates different in different types of light, and I think it does really well under high contrast light. When you got a lot of lights above you, it does seem to shine its best qualities under a good bright light. You see here, it's very bold. It is a very black text. But you can see where the light's shining. You get a tiny bit of glare, but nothing major. It doesn't bother me at all. I think it's one of the better papers for reflection, stuff like that, glare. And then you get into the New Testament. You don't have the words of Christ in red. There's going to be a black text. So if that's something that bugs you, it might not be the Bible for you. But I've gotten used to it, and I'm starting to like black letter text. quite a bit, but I do still like my red letter if it's good, because I'm a visual person, and it helps me kind of, once I get really used to a Bible, I can literally tell what page that I'm in certain Gospels and stuff because of the Word of Christ in red. You get some pretty good space sometimes when the book's in and it starts over. Now, some people don't like this. I can kind of agree with you in a sense that they leave so much space up here for each chapter. It seems like a lot of wasted space. I mean, I can see people writing here a little bit, but it's only one page, so how much does that truly help you? I would like to see them move up a line or two to make these verses start at the top. You see how the verse 11 ends? It only has one sentence. Sometimes you'll get the whole verse, and then you'll have like a couple words that just jump up to the top. All they had to do was lift that one line up with all this extra space, and you wouldn't get that jumping around effect. But, you know, that's just nitpicky kind of things. But it could, bug you. It causes you to stutter if you're preaching. You have something here, and you have to jump up here. Not too hard to do. I mean, you're just having to look somewhere else. But sometimes those things get kind of annoying when you have so much space right here to be able to make that work. So, but anyways, I can get a little bit nitpicky with things like that. Now, you don't get a concordance in this. You get a few pages of line paper in the back. It just ends Revelation. Boom, you're done. And then you get two or three pages here with some lined Bible paper. Four of them, so probably about 8 pages. So back to back, and then you get the 2K Denmark and no maps. So you just get the other thick 2 pages that they glued together. I'm not sure about this. I haven't had them long enough. It's something new they're doing, so I can't really tell you guys, what I think of it. You can see the paint marks from the glue. It's a little bit better here. Kind of weird how it bleeds through, but it doesn't ruin the Bible. It's just one of those things that kind of stands out. It is super floppy, so I don't think that really helps to put this stiffer stuff in here. Honestly, if this would have had a leather liner, this would have been one of the coolest Bibles on the market. It's still an awesome, cool Bible, but I know a lot of people would have been like, wow. They would have been wow, and there would have been a little bit more people jumping at this one, just over that kind of thing, but not a big deal. It's still really flexible. It's a very nice Bible. It's a good price. I do dig it. I think it's a good one to read. You see here in this one off, it's showing you some prints. Now this is the turquoise. You see no red letter, so I'm jump over here to black letter and give you guys an idea. Under this light with a window light and a lamp light above it, kind of gives you guys an idea of what this font. It is dark because this is some of the darkest text I've ever seen, ever. It's so dark. And look how much that, it matches up pretty good compared to any other Bible. Usually I stay away from this one because it will make every other Bible look horrible. It just does that, and the font is just super dark. Here is a very comparable Bible because of the layout is your Schuyler Canterbury. With this layout, this will show you kind of the difference in paper. I don't know if my lighting is showing it very well, but this paper is very creamy compared to this paper, which is very white. It's very bright white paper. But font-wise, this is much more bold than the Schuyler. So you get a bolder text. Bring that out a little bit with this text. And it kind of works the same way, but as you can see with the Schuyler, where the numbers are, they're a little bit smaller and they have that fancy look to them. So I think this one would be a little bit easier to find your number system with that Bible, depending on if you want to use that. And unfortunately, all I have is King James for verse by verse, except for this NASB. So we'll look at this Reader one, and this one has more ghosting than the new Reader ones that you get from R.L. Allen. So do know that, guys, if this Reader has a little bit more ghosting. Let's see if we can get a better look at this. And this will show you if you got one of these at home and how nice that font looks up against the NASB. And that NASB paper is very creamy. It's a very yellow, so it shows you that white paper. Very nice Bible. That's my favorite Bible. I love the NASB, the Reader one. Amazing Bible, guys. Such a good Bible. And then here's the best built Bible in the world. That's just my opinion. I think that the Allen Sovereign is the first edition. I'm not sure about the other ones. Look really nice too, but this first edition, the paper they used, the font, everything about this Bible just speaks to me. I love it. And it has super dark font, and it's a more modern kind of setting to the font. Super dark. But this New King James is very readable, guys. You get a close-up and get that dark font. But those are the Bibles I have that are comparable to this one, guys. And I'll end it with that. It's a pretty long video. Just wanted to show you guys a nice up-close view of the fonts. I know my camera style can be kind of weird and crazy for some, but that's the way I like to do it. I like to get up front, get up close for you guys to see what you're going to have when you get this Bible out of the box. So, you know, if you guys get dizzy watching my videos, sorry, that's just the way I do it. So God bless. I love you all, and I will see you on the next video. Take it easy.